ZILLZAAL looks to be the right horse and continues on his merry way.
Yeah, we've obviously running Wildfire on Thursday. There was a lot of rain predicted, so we put him in as a backup. Hopefully he takes his place on Thursday and we don't have to worry about Saturday. Chariots of Gold ran a very good race coming back after a rest. You know, the second run, if it doesn't grab her, she should give another decent account of herself. But obviously the right horse in the race is ZILLZAAL, and it's an experiment to try the blinkers. Obviously he did nothing wrong in the derby, but we felt that his effort in the closing stages was a little lackluster, and he did disappoint us in the classic. So while we're not considering gelding right now, we certainly want to just try and get his mind on the job a bit more, and that's why we've gone for the blinkers.
Michael, sometimes the anticipation of getting into a special race is not worth the aggravation, but on this particular scenario, you didn't stress too much about getting Gracious Ebony into this special race, and it's all worked out well, hopefully.
Yes, Andrew, you know, every year we've nominated for this race, and I sit and I watch and I wait and get a bit frustrated when we don't get in. So this year I tried a different policy. I got myself involved in Netflix at home and watched Netflix, and then got a surprise when one of my mates phoned me and actually WhatsApped me and said, well done, you've got 2 horses in the Princess Charlene races. And to my amazement, I saw that both of them were in. So maybe that's the right way to do it. What's meant to be will be. So it worked out for us this year.
Okay, now realistically, have you got a chance of getting some booty?
Please God, you know, if it's meant to be, as I said, it'll be. But they're not without chances. They both seem to be working reasonably well back home.
On to a very valuable race with Urban Oasis and Victoria Page, who makes a debut representing the TARRY yard.
Yes, Victoria Page in open company. You know, for the 250,000, you take your chances with whatever you get in the race. I think she'll give a good account of herself, otherwise I wouldn't have nominated. Urban Oasis got a bad draw and maybe going an extra furlong than her best trip, but she certainly got the form if she does get the distance. So yeah, I've got two reasonable horses in the race, and if the top couple fluff their lines, then hopefully we'll be there to pick up the pieces.
Then we move on to a man's horse who keeps a very close eye on proceedings in the Azzie yard. Justice van Wyk has got suspicious minds, quite appropriate as well.
Yeah, Justice is a good friend as well as our accountant, so he watches the figures and the checks and balances and makes sure that things are going well in the stable. His horse has been working reasonably well. It's his first run for the stable, and we're hoping that the horse does reasonably well for us.
Glacier Girl, Lassaire and Stockbridge are all representatives in the first leg of the pick 6.
Yeah, Stockbridge, he's been pretty consistent of late, you know. So, yeah, he's in pretty good form. Been pretty happy with his progress. So, obviously expecting a forward run there. Lassaire as well, you know, he's sort of in the same boat. Very good, honest form. So, we're obviously expecting forward runs from both of them as well. Glacier Girl, she obviously was in need of a last start. Wasn't ideally drawn on the vault track the last time, so we're expecting improvement from her as well.
Lovely. A similar situation confronts you in the fourth with both African Rock and Tree Tumbo, who's also just had the 1 start.
Yes, again, Tree Tumbo, 2-year-old in open company. I do think he does want the extra. Yeah, he ran on fairly well over 1,000 meters, and I think he won't disgrace himself. A horse like African Rock, if he had to get a run, would certainly be able to pick up the pieces. And yeah, once again, the 2-year-old must have as good a chance as any.
And obviously the stable's been ticking over really, really well. You've been having a whole stream of winners, so that augurs well. And Major Return finds himself in the next of the afternoon over a mile.
Yes, you know, another horse for a big client of ours, Brian Riley, a big supporter of the stable. We need to get some winners for him on the board now. Not that we haven't had a lot of winners together, but this chap shows a lot of decent work back home, and he needs to start bringing the work to the course. He hasn't got the biggest heart of all. He seems to travel well early on, and when it comes under crunch time, he doesn't go on with it. But we've tried a few different things with him in work, and we're hoping that now this will bring his form to fruition in the race.
Fantastic. And then Mr. de Kock has a filly called Poor Man's Lady, who wraps up your card.
Yeah, also another horse that's been very honest. You know, she always tries. she won a good race last time. She does take on the boys, but yeah, she's pretty fit and doing well within herself. So also expecting a very good run from her.
Okay, then you're represented by Rockin Russian and Saints Alive, who showed glimmers of the ability that she showed earlier on.
Yeah, Saints Alive, you know, she disappointed for a couple of reasons, and obviously I know that she wants to go over more ground, but she's not ready for it in terms of her mannerism, and she does over race, so she has to find her form over the mile, and once she learns to settle more, then we'll step her up again. Pierre has ridden her a good few times, and he seems to be getting to understand her, and I'm hoping for a very good run. Rockin Russian, second run after a long rest, and I certainly wouldn't want to see the going come up soft for her on the day. But if it's good going, she should be running on well.
On to Celtic Sea and Redberry Lane in the Grade 1 Empress Club. Obviously there's a step up in distance, and of course the weights favour Redberry Lane as far as this encounter is concerned.
Yeah, I think it is a tricky race. I mean, obviously the Cape horse looks like the obvious horse, but I mean, this is a strong, solid field. Cascapedia obviously has to be respected. A couple of up-and-coming 3-year-olds.
And then on to the Grade 1. I know that this filly's been specifically prepared, and it looks like she's had a very good prep as well, Flying Fable.
Yes, Andrew, you know, she's a filly that has been doing well over a period of time, and she's now stepped up into the big league. It's a big ask for her, but as Andreas said, he really wants his fillies to perform at this level, and these are the type of fillies he wants, because obviously he breeds with them, and she's a very well-bred filly, and with her pedigree, he'd like her to have black type in this type of race.
Lovely. Then you've got 3 in the Empress Club, all of Cascapedia, Gala and Nafayez. Nafayez needs no introduction. She's a super fit filly, having won the Guineas. Great run in the Classic. Cascapedia, high class. If she reproduces her Hawaii Stakes form, she will win. And Gala, obviously, she's not without her class and ability.
Yeah, look, obviously we'll start with Cascapedia. Yeah, very good filly. You know, she's done nothing. Well, she hasn't done much wrong, and she's done us really proud. So, yeah, from a decent draw, you know, Gavin obviously gets along with her. Look, she's got to be a massive runner there in that type of field. You know, obviously we've got to respect Mr. Snaith's horse. But yeah, we'll be fighting. And yeah, Gala obviously, look, wide rope to contend with. But yeah, a filly that doesn't obviously lack ability. You know, she could also run a very good race there. And then obviously Nafayez, yeah. Very special filly, you know. She's gutsy, she tries hard, she's a very fit filly, she's doing well. So, you know, we're expecting forward runs and good runs from all 3 fillies.
Okay, I saw Nafa work the other day with Chama Mabaya. It looked like really good work. I know that his main mission is the computer form sprint in the first week of May. Perhaps in need of the run last time out, he backs up quickly.
Yeah, definitely. You know, he was off for quite a while. Obviously brought him back. His main mission is the computer form. Yeah, so obviously he needed another run to get under his, get a run at his belt, get him fit and get him ready for the computer form, obviously. But yeah, we're obviously expecting improvement as well from him.
Lyle, back in your hometown, obviously a lovely opportunity to catch up with you, and we start off with a very exciting horse called ZILLZAAL, who tries the blinkers for the first time.
Yes, he's a superbly talented horse. Reminds me a lot of Al Sahim, and I think ability-wise the same. I just feel he hasn't been putting it all in lately. You know, he shows us a lot, and I think his runs haven't been a true reflection of his ability, albeit good runs. So we're trying the blinkers and hoping that makes a difference. This is a prep run for bigger things, but hopefully still good enough.
Fantastic. Then in the first leg of the pick 6, you ride a horse called Tree Tumbo, well related, earned a state check first time out, looking for improvement.
Yes, we knew the 1,000 meters would be too short first time out. But now he's going to the 14, which is better suited. However, he does have a deep draw, and a 2-year-old against older horses is always tough. But I'm hoping that his ability can pull him through to earn a check here.
Fantastic. Then Rockin Russian almost won you a Group 1, one of the more talented runners in the race.
Yes, she's very talented. Like you said, she almost won me a big one as a 2-year-old. She had a bit of time off, but her prep run or her comeback run was not disgraced, and I'm sure that she's going to make some improvement. I'm hoping she can finish first 3.
Lovely. Then on to the Group 1, the Empress Club, Celtic Sea. She's marginally worse off at the weights with Redberry Lane. but she's extremely progressive, extremely talented, and you must be happy with her, right?
Yes, very happy. I think she's a horse that's going to do well for us this season and in the seasons to come. Like you said, superbly talented. She got a lovely draw, and we always thought the mile was a stretch for her, but the way she won the 14 last time was very convincing, and a very, very tough field, but I think she's going to make a bold showing.
Then you move into the silks of the very famous River Jatez. In fact, her daughter by Oratorio, very close to your heart. Wonderful combination, and she looks way better than her 68 merit rating.
Yes, I think that's the main thing. I think she's above this current mark. She won her first race back here in Johannesburg in good style. She wasn't spot on for her next run, but she still ran a good race. And we're trying the trip 2-4, but I don't think it'll be a problem for her, and I think she's a good runner on the day.
Then Marty Valdi might not be going to Hollywood, but he's certainly going to be a fit horse, and with Mr. TARRY at the helm, you're probably expecting a decent sort of performance?
Yes, I certainly am. He's a bit of an on and off horse. He's got his issues, but when he does bring it to the course, he can put up some pretty impressive performances. He's doing well at home, and for once we've got a draw, which I think is going to help him a lot. So I'm expecting him to run a good race. I'm just hoping he brings it all to the course. And
then finally, to put the lid on the day in race 10, TIERRA DEL FUEGO, definitely not prayerless.
Yes, he was a horse that Lorenzo and Luke back home in Durban thought a lot of. He won his maiden in good fashion. He's had his time off to mature, but in Johannesburg, so he might need his comeback run, and I think it's a very strong field, but I'd love to see him put in a bold performance so that we have something to build on.
And finally, I asked Sean TARRY on the day of the Oaks and the Derby what his best bet on the whole card was. He said the impossible, return flight. He was right on the money. I'm unfortunately going to put you under the same kind of pressure this Saturday.
ZILLZAAL definitely looks my best ride. You know, obviously, like I said, it is a prep run, so we'd like him to do it comfortably, but if I had to bypass him, I'd go into Jatoria.